Okay, let's be open-minded, chat. Take away all the negativity you have about One Piece and anime right now. Let's see what he tells us. Let's see. Open-minded, alright? Open-minded.
Maybe you just keep stumbling across this anime and finally have given in to finding out what all the hype or
that's what ended up happening to me.
Is all about. Well, let me tell you, with only
mostly because of Midas
years left to go in the series and the beginning of the final saga, now is the perfect time to come aboard the Straw Hat ship and sail to the One Piece along with
25 gifts from who?
Or maybe you might already be a full-on believer and know just how absolutely
but just
shatteringly brilliant this
I appreciate you so much.
And you just can't help but want everyone you know to experience it too. Like for me, it's my mate that you might know, Jadis, who asked me for a video on why he should start One Piece.
Okay.
Actually, I have read the beginning of One Piece, but the problem is I'm a manga collector and I have box sets 1, 2, 3, 4. Right?
Do y'all read manga? I can't really read manga, bro.
Right? And
too long? No, we're just gonna
after box set 1, which is basically the end of the crocodile arc.
Only time I read manga was Hunter x Hunter. When I couldn't wait for fucking Shippuden and shit, so I was reading that and like the war arc a little bit, but that's really it. That's only manga I read.
Okay. The problem is I
only
moved to
manga.
a different country, a different continent.
No, she's kind
End of the crocodile arc. Okay. The problem is
my laser eye vision was on time, man. She kind of, you know what I'm saying?
To a different country, a different continent, and now I don't have box sets 2, 3, and 4 to pick from, and I usually like to read it physically. I don't want to read it online because it's just a long series. I don't want to like go online on the internet and just scroll. I read my—
But here's the thing, if a show is good enough, the length thing is not even a thing for me. I actually like that it's dumb long, because if I'm obsessed with it, it's never ending. Basically, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going. I hate when I finish shows. You feel me? So that's not really why for me. I guess, but not too much. I don't know. It just never really, like, the reason why I started it was just because everybody was just saying how good it is. So it's like, okay, it has to be like fire if all these people vouch for it. But not because I've seen anything because it looks cool or anything to me.
Manga on the toilet, okay? Every time I poop, okay? My favorite pastime was picking up a volume of One Piece, going to my toilet, reading 1 to 2 chapters, and then getting hyped, basically. I do love One Piece. I do want to continue. I think I'm just gonna wait until like Connor finishes his One Piece because he has the physical editions at his house. I'm just gonna wait till he finishes it, and then I'm gonna borrow it. Or if I go on vacation back in my hometown,
I don't give I'm not gonna lie. This video is about why we should start One. I don't give a fuck about this nigga and why he hasn't started it.
Manga is so much
Where are
better
you?
than anime to me, especially One Piece, but I know it's not for everyone.
Fuck. I do not give a fuck.
Well, here is the super short, really not long at all answer. Chapter 1, a brief history of One Piece. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to convince someone to take the plunge and start reading the series, but it can be quite of a hard sell. Watching a 26 episode series can be enough of a commitment by itself, but asking someone to read or watch 1,000 chapters / episodes, it can seem downright daunting for very obvious reasons. Not to mention that maybe some people are turned off by the cartoonish looking art style, thinking it's not as serious or cool as some of their other favorites.
Very true. That is a part of it for me. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all just seeing pirates. I'm like, yo, like, come on, bro.
Art style, thinking it's not as serious or cool as some of their other favorite series. Well, I'm here to change your mind about that. Thanks to a let's say questionable 4Kids dub and a few other factors, One Piece has had a hard time growing its fan base in the West.
Damn, Pokemon. Pokemon is that nigga. Pokemon is that nigga.
The new beta squad vid is fire. You should watch it.
Compared to series like Dragon Ball or Naruto. Hard time growing its fan base in the West compared to series like Dragon.
Chat. Watch that Gohan movie. That nigga is the GOAT. That nigga is the GOAT.
Ball or Naruto. But let's look at the facts. This is the most successful manga of all time and one of the most successful pieces of literature ever. One Piece has outsold every other comic series but Superman. That means that its sales numbers have beaten out both Spider-Man and Batman, whose publication histories predate One Piece by many decades. And
but even though it predates it more, what has more like books and writings and in literature? What has more? I know it predates more, but what has more? One Piece or like those superheroes? Like, does Batman have more literature than One Piece? It did like 100%, right? And it outsold it? Damn. Comics aren't long though. Like, that's my thing. Comics aren't long. This One Piece shit is fucking a million fucking episodes, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Comics aren't that long.
The estimated sales for the series place Eiichiro Oda, its author, within the top 10 best-selling authors of all time. He's just past Dr. Seuss, and soon One Piece will even outsell Harry Potter. Simply put, One Piece
Harry Potter's like that? Holy
even
shit.
outsell Harry Potter. Simply put,
already did 1 month ago, GG.
One Piece with a serialization spanning
Harry Potter books, bro. I remember, bro.
in 25 years is a worldwide
Harry Potter still like that though? That's tough.
sales juggernaut. Why? Well, because it's just that good. Before we get started though, you might want to know some of the basics. So what is One Piece about? One Piece takes place 20 years after the execution of the notorious king of the pirates, Gold Roger. On the executioner's stand, Roger announced to the world that he left his treasure.
I remember this. I seen this shit.
Hidden somewhere out in the world's most dangerous.
Bro, it's been fucking 30 years and they ain't find this fucking One Piece yet, bro. That motherfucker do not exist, gang.
The Grand Line, a terrifying strip of ocean that spans.
Like, I remember Sean watching this shit for years and I'd always be like, yo, have they found that fucking piece yet? Like, I remember this year, I was like, yo, did they find, like, when I was about to start, like, yo, okay, did they end up finding the piece ever through all these years? Like, no. But yo, this whole time they ain't find that motherfucking piece yet, nigga.
Once around the globe. The announcement of this great treasure led to a great age of piracy, which brings us to our protagonist,
that was last year.
Luffy, a rambunctious young pirate who has rubber powers thanks to eating a devil fruit, a magical type of fruit that bestows special abilities to someone who eats them, but at the same time also renders them unable to swim, a pretty big drawback in a story that takes place on the high seas. And so throughout Luffy's adventure, he gathers together a crew
Who's your favorite person on this ship right now, as of this point of the show?
Unique characters to fight side by side as he takes.
I don't know. I still don't have a favorite character in the show.
Government in an attempt.
That was episode 300.
The world's greatest treasure. Overall,
I know everybody's favorite character probably like Zoro or some shit.
That make One Piece stand out among its peers: the world building, the plots, the characters, and the tone. Aren't there any more qualities than these that make One Piece?
Like, Zoro's badass to me. But for some reason, like Zoro's basically that type of character I like. My favorite characters in the shows are like Sasuke, Hibari, like them type niggas a lot of the times. So people automatically assume that Zoro was gonna be my favorite character. But I don't really like. I don't know. Like, I can acknowledge he's dope, he's fire, he's cool, but he's not like I don't know. He's not my favorite.
Fantastic. Of course there are, but we don't want to get into any dangerous spoiler territory in this video, and damn.
Bro, you don't know Zoro like how you know him, but I'm pretty sure at this point in the show, Zoro was a lot of people's favorites already, bro.
Your experience of the series. So
without further ado,
cool. Let's get into chapter 2, the world of One Piece. If you ask the average fan what their favorite thing about One Piece is, a lot of them will say it's outstanding world building. If all you've ever seen is promotional images, it probably seems like One Piece is just a nice little story where our crew sails around the world getting into hijinks. What I definitely wasn't ready for when I started the series was a complex web.
You know who I liked a lot? That nigga from Skypea, that lightning nigga, that nigga was funny. That nigga was lit. He had an ego of hell. That nigga was fire.
Political intrigue that easily stands on the level of a series like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. So if you really enjoy fleshed out fantasy worlds, you will definitely fall in love with the world of One Piece. This world is filled with pirates searching for the ultimate treasure, the One Piece, but along the way, our crew visits a lot of islands.
Oh yeah, these, hold on, that nigga, remember that nigga?
Governments, culture, creatures, etc. And so one island may be filled with prehistoric dinosaurs and battling giants, whereas the next one is an expansive desert story. One island may be based on feudal Japan, and another one might be a dream-fueled Candyland straight out of a Disney movie. And the wildest thing about all of this is that all these diverse places
the world building is pretty fun.
A cohesive whole. We don't simply stop off somewhere and then sail away into the horizon, never to think about these past islands ever again. Instead, they all interact seamlessly with one another, and the
world building is fire.
Each kingdom or island the Straw Hats visit are connected politically through the world government, a shadowy organization that claims to uphold the peace and defend the people from the evil pirates, but in reality causes just as much or arguably even more suffering as the pirates do. The world of One Piece is composed of many different factions that move independently from our main characters. And while the protagonist, Straw Hat Luffy, certainly makes his mark on the world, he's just one small fish in a very big pond of characters. While the story sagas are shaped by the Straw Hats' actions, the world is always moving and shifting behind the scenes as well. Between
who got more plot armor, Chad, Luffy or Naruto? Does Luffy have plot armor like those into the future and shit? Does Luffy have friendship type plot armor? The power of friendship type plot armor? No, what type of plot armor did he have? Just regular like plot armor? It's not power of friendship. I gotta do this. Everybody's believing in me. My friends. Then fucking he just ends up winning somehow or some shit. No? Bet. Luffy just box?
Each major story arc, Eiichiro Oda shows us what the major players of the world are up to elsewhere. In no other series will you see a fan base.
I don't know, right now, Luffy do be boxing. But like Luffy, like where I'm at right now, episode 300, like he's like on par with all these niggas with just barely any real like training like that. And I was just like, oh my god, he just learned this gear, whatever first gear, whatever shit that is. And he's boxing with this Lucci nigga and shit. And I'm just like, okay.
Gets so ecstatic about something as seemingly simple as a newspaper.
Like these niggas was so fucking. I remember the episode I got pissed. Like 1 second they were crazy OP. Like them niggas Lucci and all his crew were crazy OP, shooting fucking bullet fucking shits out their mouth. And the next episode Luffy just on timing. I'm just like, I guess, nigga, like, okay.
But when Big News Morgans drops the latest issue, you better believe we're about to get some mind-blowing updates.
You train off screen? No. That's not how it happened. No. It was like that. It was from Skypea to Annie's Lobby. There was no training. He was in not Skypea, Annie's Lobby and Water 7 or some shit, whatever the fuck that art's called. You guys got fucking destroyed. We have to go get him. He gets on the train. He goes over there and he knows how to box with all the niggas. There was no training.
On without.
How did he train? It was like the next day. He did it. Oh my! What? At what point did he have to train? He got his ass whooped. Got on the train and went to them.
Favorite characters. Simply put, this world doesn't seem just like a game board for places to move on around.
Keep watching?
It feels like a real, living, breathing place, and we care deeply about its many inhabitants. Oda has filled each and every of these islands with so much care and consideration that we're really on the edge of our seats while we wait to see how the complex political dynamics play out in the end. And that is all thanks to Chapter 3, the characters. And so, of course, we have to talk about the stars of the show, the incredible web of characters, and wow,
that nigga so far.
Some fantastic ones. I mean, with over 1,000 characters in the series, there's a little something for everyone here, really. But central to One Piece is, of course,
what the fuck? I'm over here thinking these niggas, this nigga and this nigga was big. Who the fuck? What the shit is this?
For everyone.
What the hell is that?
Gears 2 and 3 isn't about lifting or training for days. He understands how to use his devil fruit. It foreshadows Gear 2 during Water 7 before Lucci.
One here really, but central to One Piece is of course the Straw Hat crew. Our main character, Monkey D. Luffy, is unlike any other shonen protagonist. Just on the surface level, he seems to share some essential traits with other shonen heroes. He's got the brains, or lack thereof, of Goku, and a lofty goal like Naruto, but no one has the conviction that Luffy does really. And while he really wouldn't do too well on his standardized tests, he has an intuitive emotion.
One thing about Luffy compared to all these other main characters, he's making me chuckle sometimes. These other main characters are fucking not funny, bro. Luffy is actually funny. He's comedy. The nigga's dumb. Like, funny, though. These other niggas is fucking just standard.
Intelligence that allows him to make friends everywhere he goes.
Luffy's actually a funny nigga.
His true power is the way that he relates to others and fights for those that he cares about.
Goku kind of funny,
Most of the time he's carefree, silly even.
More so like a dumbass type of buddy. Luffy would say some funny shit.
But when it's time to get serious, he'll send a chill down your spine, and you'll be cheering for him when he gives villains what they deserve, which usually
I didn't get up to that part in the fight, but I remember when I was legit, I was like 13. I was like, Sean, show me a fight in One Piece why I should watch One Piece. That's when I was like 13 or some shit. I was like I forgot what age I was exactly, so I don't even know what fuck. You feel me? And he showed me this fight.
A really big punch. The rest of the crew is also
and that's where I'm at in the show right now.
Fantastic. The absolute badass swordsman Zoro, the greedy navigator Nami, the cowardly sniper Usopp, the Soei chef Sanji, the cotton candy loving Ranger,
I don't know how I feel about Usopp right now.
And a singing
he funny too though.
Named Brook, as well.
What? Okay, I just got. Is that motherfucker even on the ship right now? Yeah, GG. Yeah, GG. Yeah, GG. Yeah, GG. What? Why was that like needed? You did not need to. Okay, bro. You do not need to do that.
Luffy be pissing me off. Man deadass be having the most bad females in front of him and ignores them to eat meat.
Look, God, let me give you a critique of your shit, and I'm not about to finish this just because I'm afraid of what you might say. You're trying to give me a reason why we should start. You do not. Those little details you're giving are not important.
He did a big face reveal and uses a side camera angle to show off his jawline like you.
No, I just can't have my camera here because if you have it here, you're gonna see my big ass open ass closet with a bunch of clutter here. This area of my room right here is disgusting as fuck. And I can't put it here because it's a glass door and people be walking now. I don't want you to see all that. This is the only area of the room where, like, it's presentable. That looks good to stream. And I don't even like this angle.
As some others that I won't spoil for now because their joining can come as a bit of a surprise, I guess. Every one of these characters not only has spectacular feats, but they have dreams and convictions that match their captain's dream to become the Pirate King. And while they're fun and even silly on the surface, they all have depth. As we learn about the tragedies they suffered in their childhood that made them who they are today, we fall in love with this cast of characters. Also, you will definitely—
I wish I had a favorite character in the cast, though, bro.
Cry when you get to some of their backstory, so just be ready for that. Now, of course, our main crew are only the beginning. The Straw Hats also encounter many. Now, of course, our main crew are only the beginning.
That nigga's lit.
Also,
oh, I just seen a character that I already knows about something.
Get to some of their backstory, so just be ready for that. Now, of course, our main crew are only the beginning. The Straw Hats also encounter many others on their travels, and some standouts are the amazing villains. The Marines are tasked by the world government to hunt down the law-breaking pirates, which means that our main cast constantly are on the—
I like this part of the show a lot. Like the dynamic with the fucking Marines and the government, all that shit. I like that. And the pirates and all that. I like that.
To hunt down the amazing villains.
I like this.
The Marines are tasked by the world government to hunt down the law-breaking pirates, which means that our main cast constantly are on the run from fearsome members like Captain Smoker or Admiral Akainu. However, there are also, of course,
Smoker's that nigga that I liked.
Like Captain Smoker,
I liked him at first.
Admiral Akainu. However, there are also, of course, opposing pirates such as the 7 Warlords of the Sea, which includes fierce and intimidating characters like the criminal mastermind Crocodile.
I loved Crocodile, bro.
Or the greatest swordsman in the world, Dracul Mihawk. When we're introduced to these characters, they appear as insurmountable obstacles.
This nigga was Del Flamingo, I think. I seen a scene of him pulled up on, I don't know where he pulled up on. Was it the world government or some shit or something like that? And like he was like running, she like bitching niggas. Like, yo, this nigga seemed kind of scary, bro. What the fuck?
Some of them are literally impossible to even touch. And so, of course, it makes it all the more satisfying when Luffy and his crucible—
What the fuck is— why is he, what the hell is this?
Touch. And so, of course, it makes it all the more satisfying when Luffy and his crew use their resolve and their skills to overcome these villains and save the innocent people on the islands they encounter.
That nigga told the bitch, I ain't gonna lie.
Sanji's name was supposed to be Naruto, but Naruto came out, so he changed it.
Yo, why are some of these motherfuckers so tall?
Hats have their
what is
fair
the
share
storyline
of
behind some
on
of
the
these?
seas of the Grand Line too. Some are royalty who rule the various
They definitely look like humans, but tall as shit.
Such as Nefertari Vivi, the
Nutrition
Princess of Alabasta, but some are even fellow pirates, like the fan favorites Trafalgar Law. And
Who
then
the
of course
fuck
there
is
are
that?
the legends who either in the past or present have shaped
dude is so
the
cool.
One Piece world itself. People like Gold Roger, the pirate who on the execution stand started the great age of piracy by telling people across the world to go and search for his treasure, the One Piece. Throughout the adventure of One Piece, you'll meet a fascinating cast of
This nigga was so lit, bro.
And if it sounds like a lot, well, no worries there. Oda takes his time in each location and with each character to let us get to know each of them as people and to fully develop them throughout the story. It's one of the many reasons that One Piece's length actually works in its favor. It's all
Damn, y'all
killer,
niggas younger than One
no
Piece, that's
filler.
tough.
Which brings me to Chapter 4, The Plot. The plot of One Piece is another fantastic reason that you should read.
Okay, stop watching. I'm scared. Why?
The series. The amazing thing about One Piece isn't that it has over 1,000 chapters. It's that it has 1,000 chapters and it's still going strong. The arcs being published right now are some
Shit.
of the best One Piece have to offer. And there's one simple reason for this. The mangaka Eiichiro Oda planned his story from the very beginning. I know that this seems trivial, but you'd be amazed at how many authors don't actually know how their story will end when they begin publication. They just kind of start from a premise and make it up as they go along. 25 years ago, Luffy set out to find the ultimate treasure, the One Piece. He's still searching for that treasure, and many are skeptical.
Probably the only Mickey-ish in the show. Just wait till the stakes start getting serious, bro. Everything you thought about the show is finna be flipped on its booty.
Really?
That whatever
I like the
will
start of
be
that.
in the end will be disappointing, like the treasure.
Yo, Nami be having her Ooga Boogas out.
Friends you made along the way. However, Oda Sensei has already gone on record saying that the treasure is something physical, or at least part of it. He has had the final panel and the overall story of the series planned for decades. And while he does insert fun details and ideas along the way to expand on the world that he's created, the broad strokes of the story are already well thought out. I mean, it would have been one thing to to have a great idea for a pirate adventure and just letting Luffy start his journey without having the end in mind, but eventually he probably would have run out of ideas. But ever since the beginning, Oda has been constructing a story with one singular goal, which honestly makes it such an impressive series, not just among manga, but among literature in general. One way that you can see this is with Eiichiro Oda's masterful hints and foreshadowing. Characters will be mentioned in the early beginnings of the story only to show up and play a very important role hundreds of chapters later at points. And that really just goes to show the thorough planning that went into creating this masterfully structured story. Not to take digs too hard at other series, but many of them seem to be developed based on a central interesting premise, but eventually really start falling apart the longer they get because the storytellers didn't begin with the ending in mind. Let's just call it the J.J. Abrams effect. Let's just leave the world of anime for a second and think about how TV shows like Lost or the much maligned Star Wars sequel trilogy begin by Abrams setting up so many mysteries so fans get sucked in by all the intrigue. The problem is that Abrams has not figured out what the solution to the mystery really is and seemingly also doesn't care, leading to his properties having terribly disappointing endings. Many anime series seem to suffer from the exact same problem. For instance, in Bleach, a series that I really hold dear, the Soul Society was a fantastic early arc. However, it does seem like Tite Kubo, the author, wasn't sure what should happen afterwards. So they just rinsed and repeated with a new kidnapped ally to rescue and a new assortment of powerful baddies to fight. Dragon Ball Z kind of does the same thing as well.
Hey, Kai Mafia. Oh, we're watching a video on why we should start One Piece in 2022. We're almost over.
And who, of course, can't forget the ending of Naruto when we found out that, big spoiler warning by the way, skip ahead if you don't want to hear this, it was aliens all along. Like, granted, One Piece also has some moon and space stuff going on, but that's always been well established for hundreds of chapters instead of suddenly pulling it out of nowhere at the very last minutes. Most anime also deal with a problem I call power creep, the problem of running into an impossibly strong villain, having the heroes develop a new power-up to defeat them, and then rinsing and repeating over and over until the powers are just so absurd and don't fit into the established scope of the narrative anymore. And while One Piece does have cool powers and power-ups, it avoids the problem of power creep that we see in so many other series. In an early scene, we're for example introduced to one of the literally strongest characters in the entire series, Dracul Mihawk, the greatest swordsman in the world, one of the 7 warlords of the sea I mentioned earlier. In that encounter, Luffy's crewmate Zoro, whose goal is to become the world's greatest swordsman himself, faces off against him. Zoro, who we've seen effortlessly take out opponents left and right before this moment, is like the first few episodes, annihilated by Mihawk. And so, thanks to this scene and some others like it, we early on get to see the power ceiling of the worlds. And that way, future power-ups don't just seem like massive ass pulls out of nowhere, and instead they seem in line with the properties of the world as we've known it right from the start. The consistency of One Piece is just outstanding. Even the quote-unquote
fuck is that big ass nigga?
Bad arcs, or at least the least favorite ones.
What the fuck is that? The shit is that in the back. The fuck is that?
Among the fandoms,
what is this fist?
Surpass the qualities of many other normal stories. Are there occasionally films often surpass the qualities of
what shit is that?
The normal stories. Are there occasionally flaws or inconsistencies? Sure. Eiichiro Oda is surprisingly still human after all. But the positives of these series, especially giving its massive length, outshine the negatives by far. And this is really mainly thanks to Chapter 5, the overall tone. Another reason to watch One Piece is its tone. And this encapsulates a lot of
React to Agents Vidits Phi.
Things, as you might guess.
What's Agent V called?
A producer of the upcoming Netflix live-action One Piece series was talking about adapting the series. He said One Piece does...
Oh, it's a nigga.
For the love of fucking God, stop pausing, nigga, you're spoiling yourself.
No, nigga.
3 things. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, and it makes you say, holy sh**. First and foremost, something that really makes One Piece stand out among its peers is its sense of humor. Sure, other shonen often have gags and bits of humor sprinkled in as well, but One Piece really has laughter baked into its core. I mean, just look at some of the character designs, but just the characters in itself and the jokes in this series are just hilarious. And the scenarios that they get themselves into can be just as funny. Luffy having rubber powers is essentially just a stretchy cartoon man. Sometimes to fight, he blows himself up into a massive balloon. Once, when fighting a character with food-based powers, he valiantly ate his way to victory with the ferocious appetite that only a shonen protagonist could have. Some people do criticize One Piece for its occasional wacky and goofy art style, which is fair, it's subjective. But the truth is that this is one of its greatest strengths, really. Not just because
He killed that motherfucker by eating that nigga. My boy, what the fuck? Get the A, man. Hey, man. You know, hey,
very
man.
funny, but also because it makes the emotional and very serious moments hit just that much harder. Like the contrast between them. You'll just be sitting there, just enjoying.
To the manga, I won't lie, the journey is a pain at first, but once you get hooked, it's over. It's like an addiction. That's why One Piece fans talk so much about it.
Your
Chat.
goofy.
Is it an addiction like how you're addicted to me? Hey, chat. Is it that type of addiction? Like the addiction you have for me and shit. Say shit. Or is it a little different?
Pirate manga when suddenly you're openly sobbing. I don't care if you have a heart of stone. You will cry when you see the suffering that this cute reindeer has endured.
I remember this.
And when you
I didn't cry though, but it was tough. But I
see some of the
oh, my fault, gangy.
suffering that this cute reindeer has endured, for instance. And when you see some of the ridiculous stakes that many of these arcs get to, you will be openly stunned. When an
Why do I always see this meme? That nigga like that.
stakes.
Nigga like this. That nigga Luffy like this. What is that? What's that nigga doing?
That many of these arcs get to, you will be openly stunned. When an entire country of people and characters you've grown to love are incredibly at stake, and the only possibility of saving them means Luffy defeating a villain who has already utterly defeated him multiple times before that, how can you not be on the edge of your seat?
Because fucking Luffy is the main character, he's gonna win and not everybody's gonna die, because that's how it works in anime.
Like Dragon Ball, call Goku Day, then I might continue it.
And even if you know deep down that things should probably work out fine because there are still hundreds of chapters to go, it still won't stop you from jumping out of joy when Luffy finally beats the big baddie.
Because he's always going to be the big baddie. That's why I've never, yes, I am like watching the story be good, but I'm like, at the end of the day, Luffy's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? That's how it be with these animes and shit. That's why sometimes I'm seasonal with anime. Because anime be too predictable. It be too predictable, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I remember watching a few things in One Piece where I was like, okay, that actually wasn't as cliche. Luffy wasn't the one who did this, or Luffy didn't save the day.
Yeah, One Piece
but
might be
it wasn't
cool
too
and
much.
all, but did they have to take 10+ years to explain the whole shit and still not be done?
I mean, it's the story.
Lots and lots of reasons that you need to check out One Piece. From the world building to the characters to the story, this is a
Rage,
must-read experience.
JoJo, though? JoJo's style is so fucking unmatched.
JoJo's style is like this. This is JoJo's style. This is JoJo's style. This is JoJo's style. That's JoJo's style, bro. Let them niggas be standing in that motherfucker, bro. Some niggas in JoJo be standing in that shit.
Sometimes I say anime is garbage in chat and put my phone on vibrate and put it in my ass.
JoJo's. Wait, what? What? That's kind of fire. The meta was going on Black Ops 1 bots, putting the bots on veteran, then putting your PlayStation controller on and put it on free for all. Just put you in Nuketown and sit on the controller while some veteran bots. That was meta.
Josh, Jesh, Cumminghamster? What's the Boystober schedule dates? 'Cause my birthday is on the 13th and party on 14th. I hope I don't miss it.
This nigga's been tapping Pokemon WTF for the last 30 minutes, bro.
Story.
Shit. What's up?
YourRAGE, I remember when we would hang out in high school, haha, how you been? I remember when one of us would get a bone, we would quickly jack it off in class before the teacher would catch us, haha.
That's never happened, chat, dude. That nigga is a door to. Never, he just made that shit up. That's never happened in class ever in any situation.
Life, along with a dedicated fan community, isn't something that you want to miss out on. And once you get
Josh,
caught up,
can you
you
watch
can always
CJ
come back
the
to this
Champ
channel
Black
here to
Freezer?
enjoy some of the theories and character analysis that I've been working on. Or if you don't care about being spoiled and you want to start right now, how about watching the best One Piece theory that you will ever see? I guess.
Interesting.